Please welcome Scott Hicks.
Well done, Scott.
I'm a bit nervous because I've never done this before, but I've written it down, so you'll have to bear with me. But firstly, I'd like to thank everyone who came here today. When I called for this march back in January, I did it because I could see with my own eyes the injustices that were happening in this country. I could see the hotels in town filling up with uninvited illegal migrants. Meanwhile, I could see the streets filling up with my own countrymen who were homeless and struggling. All the while, these hotels have been filling up with uninvited. The pockets of the politicians have been filling up with more and more money. This whole situation is caused by the absolute greed and selfishness of the traitors in government who care more about the rest of the world than their own people. We care more about who care about more about their money than the future of the nation that they were asked to lead. The betrayal has to end. When these marches and protests happen across the country, they're those who actively go to slander, abuse and spit on people for standing up for themselves. And it's always the same people who are doing it. The same people who have created these problems with immigration are the same people who attack anybody. Who tries to fix it, because they don't care about people, they only care about the ideology. Whereas we came here today because we believe in the fundamental principle that a nation belongs to its own people, not that the people belong to the government of thieves. To see everyone who came here today gives me hope, because I know for a fact that I am not the only one who feels this betrayal. And all those British people who have been abandoned by their own government in favour of migrants can see us here, and they can see with their own eyes that while the criminals in Westminster may have turned their backs on them, we have not abandoned them. We will continue to fight for our people, just as we have today, for as long as it takes. We've come here to say, and we keep saying it, for as long as it takes, enough is enough. If the traitors believe that this is the last that they'll see of us in Skegness, then they can think again. We will be back, and if they ignore the cries of our people, then we will be back with a vengeance. And the marches will get bigger and bigger until finally they have no choice but to listen. Then we will see who wins and who loses. Thank you very much, people.
Hey! Well done, Scott! Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have our third speaker. This is a gentleman who runs an organisation called the Yorkshire Patriots, and he is protesting week in, week out, up and down the country at various migrant accommodation locations. He has a lot of experience, and he's given away many years of his life to protest and stand up for our people. So please welcome David Sunderland.
Hello, Skegness. I'm just going to ask one question. Would anybody take in illegal immigrants?
No!
Thank God for that. Right now I'll start. Over the last period of time, asylum seekers have been housed in hotels and other accommodation. The government continues to place these people wherever they can, and it keeps rising. Council has stated that many residents are concerned about the number of refugees in the town, and also that they feel intimidated because they are young males harassing young girls and knocking around in large groups, and several incidents have been reported, but nothing has been done. We were also told that these asylum seekers would be moved in 3 months, but once again, false promises and more. They arrive more and more every day. Also, a resident said that they don't want to go out at night due to illegals hanging around. So why are they not getting information about all these things? But nothing gets done. One of the owners of these hotels refused to house asylum seekers for £10,000 a week, but they stated Southeast begins his home. Also in Skegness, tourism is low due to homeless people are sleeping in doorways. Okay. And these asylum seekers are cozy in hotels, getting 3 meals a day, a warm bed. Most of the hotels in Skegness have no vacancies. If you ask security guard if there's any vacancy, he will tell you to leave and it's private property. This is to the government, as simple as that. Take some immigrants out of hotels now and rehouse them in private accommodation. Then what they do then, they fill the hotels up again. It's just a simple process. The problem has been for 3 years, and the Home Office has given contracts to Circle for millions of pounds. They also said that these contracts offer a range of improvements with a focus on assisting these individuals through the asylum system. Well, how about assisting your own people? You know what I mean? Why are they not assisting the people who are homeless? The taxpayer has been stung for millions, but there's still a massive list to be deported. Also, we have 150,000 waiting for a decision on them applying for an asylum claim. It's also cost £4.7 million per day to keep these people. It also costs £84,000 per day to deploy the Royal Navy to stop the crossings. Well, do your jobs properly because you're not stopping them. Hundreds are getting through daily, but don't the government realise that this is an invasion of our country? No, they don't. Instead of spending the money on the illegals, why don't you help the 260,000 homeless people on the streets? We have women with young children, mental health problems, abuse and rape victims. We have the elderly who can't afford to keep warm. We have 13,000 ex-servicemen who came out and can't get a home because of these people. The force of the wars in this country are being ignored. This has to stop now. You know we are being invaded, and you know we're spending on and on and on and nothing on the military. So please listen to the British people for once. Close the borders, do your job properly, and concentrate on looking after your road for a change. Thank you.
Johnny boy! Yes, guys! Mind the step.
Okay, next up we have a local lady named Cherie who wants to say a few words.
Hello, Cherie!
She's a little bit shy, she's never done this before, but she's having some pretty bad experiences with a migrant hotel and she wants to tell you all about it. Please give her a warm welcome, Cherie.
Hi guys. So, I'm a local here, I've been here for 10 years now. I've never ever experienced what happened to me the other night. Yeah. So I was walking down the back of KFC, we have a local park, we've got floating lakes, things like that. All males, all by themselves, just me and my dog. They continued to follow us.
What were you doing?
Exactly. Where's the protection? There's people walking about, but everybody just turned a blind eye to it. This is a children's play park at the back of KFC, guys. This is where our children are playing. Let's go on Snapchat. Call it into the Snipes. Go on Snapchat. Go on local activities in the area. You've got a local happy to have somebody playing in lucky with your children, bowling. What the hell are 30-year-old men doing playing with 14-year-old girls in the middle of Lucky Strike? They know what they're doing. In their country it might be alright, but not in our country. They're not living by our rules. They're not doing what they should be doing. And why can't I get a house in my own country, in my own town, £600 I'm paying, and they're paying nothing to live in a hotel when we're being given 10 something George's law. Thank you guys.
Thank you. You alright?
So, we've got two more speakers left, and our next speaker is a young man. He's been viral on the internet this week. You might have seen his video. He got up and he gave a speech in a church against illegal migrants, and everyone's having a meltdown over it, basically. So he is a rising star of British nationalism. He's wise beyond his years. Please welcome Wesley Russell.
Hello, Skegness! Now, please excuse me if I ramble a little bit. I actually haven't prepared a single thing for you today, but here we go. For 13 years, we've had the Conservatives. This town has voted the Conservatives time and time again. And what have they given us? Nothing. For 13 years. Every time we vote them in, they promise we'll get immigration down. Things are getting worse and worse and worse. Every time they give us new record levels of immigration, higher than New Labour. And it was their intention to change the face of this country on purpose, deliberately, so it was irreversible. We have got to stop giving this treacherous party a mandate. We have got to stop falling for their lies every time. And don't think to yourself, oh, let's vote Labour instead to punish them. No, we have got to stop voting for all of these parties. Every single party is treacherous. The Conservatives, Labour, SNP, Plaid Cymru, the Greens, Lib Dems, all of them are complicit. They are all complicit in demographically replacing us. They disrupt our communities. They know that this will cause problems. They know that it's going to increase crime. Just think about all of the horrific stories. Just recently, have you heard about Dover? What's been happening in Dover? There was an alleged rape of a girl in a school. And what was the school's response? Okay, not to think about the welfare and protection of the girls, but to punish the girls. I mean, this is supposed to be a feminist society. Now, I'm not a feminist myself, but I think we can all say the consequences of mass migration is 100% eroding the rights of girls and women, wouldn't you say? Yes. Women should have the right not to be raped by strangers who have been deliberately imported by this party. This town has really suffered. 5 hotels in the space of half a year. That's disgusting. And this party should be ashamed of itself. And we all hear anecdotes about the stories, and it's always the same thing. Young men. Where are the women? Where are the children? We're told they're asylum seekers, which implies they'll then get processed and be considered refugees. Where are the women? Where are the children? It's always young men, every single time. Don't take us for fools! We know they are not refugees. They are illegal immigrants. We know this. Stop lying to us. And what do the media do? What do these anti-fascist organisations do? Well, they lie for sure. They tell us. Oh, all you people here today, you can't think for yourselves. The reason why you're hostile to these migrants is because Suella Braverman used the word invasion one time. She's used the word invasion one time, and we're all just so stupid. We just turn into horrible bigots. We all turn into vile, genocidal, racist maniacs, apparently. That's what the media like to imply, and we're sick to death of it. We are sick to death of being browbeaten, being told that we are bad people for being concerned about our people and our children's welfare. They say we're hateful. We're not hateful. We're looking out for our own people's welfare. But they twist and they lie. They use our own empathy and virtue against us. What do? They say Skegness is a town that is opening and welcoming and tolerant. This is all to guilt trip you, okay? We are empathetic people. We are but we look out for our own people first. And they try and twist these emotions of love and virtue and charity so that we are browbeaten and bullied into taking people who will take advantage of us. These migrants are taking advantage of us. They know that white people are second-class citizens in their own country. They know that they can just break the law as they wish. They know that they can get away with egregious crimes, and they will be lavished for doing so. They get paid all kinds of benefits, and in the case of the illegal migrants in the hotels, they get lavished, put up in 3, 4, 5-star hotels. They get their meals paid for every single day. Now they're getting pocket money. Can you believe it? Are any of you getting pocket money from the government? What a joke. They're also getting new duvets, new mattresses. When was the last time you got a new duvet or mattress? For free from the government. Yeah, war. Do you know, some of you might have seen my video where I confronted that MP Andrew Sellers recently. And of course, I made many points and he couldn't refute any of them. He only decided to challenge one thing, and that was me saying that they're not refugees. So what was his response? He said, oh, well, there's 3,000 Nigerian Christians killed every year. Which is ironic, because you have to consider, right, who's murdering these people? Well, that's a very awkward question to ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, because we know who's going to be attacking those Christians in Nigeria. It's the people of the same religious background, which the Tories are importing en masse. It's just an utter joke. I got to wrap it up now because I could go on and on for a very long time. But you have to keep up the fight. You have to keep up the resistance. You have to keep telling your MP that this is wrong, because they're supposed to be our representatives, but they don't represent us. They hold these meetings to pretend like they're listening, to pretend like they care. No, all they do is they tell us, they dictate to us, they tell us what's going to be done to us, but it's time we tell them what we are going to do to them. We are not going to give them more power anymore. Stop voting Labour and Tory. Never again. Thank you.
I'm sorry I had to cut Wes off. We've had a few more local people who have said that they want to say some words. So next up we have a man from within the region, and again it's his first ever speech, so please make him feel very welcome. Please welcome Carl.
Come on, Cal. Thank you.
Right, I wanted to speak today because we're paying for this in many ways, in more ways than we realise. When our old age pensioners are squeezed to their assets to pay for the care, when the pensions are cut more and more, when schools are filled to the brim and have got no more places for local children who have to travel miles. This isn't right. I come from a town where 4 generations of my family went to the same school, and we barely got my nephews in. This is ridiculous. This is their birthright. And we can't allow this to carry on, because there will be nothing left for our children. Nothing. Our standard of living will be so bad that it won't be worth having children anymore. And you can see that with the way that people act and behave. The birth rates dropping through the floor. People aren't interested in having families because they don't feel safe and secure. If we don't have borders around our nation, then the borders will become around our lives. And is that what we want? No. Do we want to be enclosed more and more by the government? No. To be given digital IDs? No.
And to be told where and when we can go somewhere and how we can do it. To take that away from us is to take away our fundamental freedoms. Freedoms that have took... Freedoms that have taken nearly 1,000 years to manifest. This is not something that happened overnight. It's something that's took a long time. And we've learned to live together in that time and become a nation. And to have this level of immigration is just going to disrupt this country to the point where it won't be a country anymore. And if we prepared for that, do we want to lose England? What does England mean to us? Everything.
Constitution is the solution.
A written constitution. Exactly. A written constitution. No more convention. No more Parliament making up its own rules around its own pockets. That's what we want. And just to finish off, I find it funny that no matter what crisis we seem to face, the Conservatives and Labour always manage to turn it into a racket. A racket for the corporate elites like Serco and MERS, who get billions, 2.8 of recent payments. And that's going to continue year after year until we say no more. Thank you.
So next up we have another local lady who wants to get up and say some words. So please put your hands together for Helen.
Right, I'm just going to imagine you're all naked because I'm absolutely shaded up here, but I have got to say, I am absolutely fed up with this country and what it's doing to its people. Here today, bless their heart, and I'm sure they wish they were sitting in front of the telly drinking a cup of tea. But where are you when we need you? You're not needed here. We are a peaceful demonstration, and we speak about our country and the way we want it run. And we are the power, not you lot, and not the government. Without the government, you have no government, because we will not pay you. And without you, you take tax on tax on tax on tax. Everything has gone up in the world we live in. Everything's doubled every time you walk into a door. But £7 million a bloody day is going to these immigrants, and that is not on.
Come on, Ellen. Come on, girl.
Oh, no, I actually feel fine. Wait, I'm holding on to it, and it is wobbly. I feel like I'm on a boat. But that is what I wanted to say. I own a business in this country. I wrangle little tea rooms, so you're all welcome. And if you say you've been to the march, you get a free cup of tea on a Friday. But what I'm saying is, that wasn't advertisement, by the way. What I'm saying is, it started 3 years ago with a fake pandemic, which is it is not a pandemic. And that's one thing.
Yes, truthers.
And the evidence is on the government website.
Truth speaker.
And I know we're not here for that today, we're here for the immigrants, but it's actually started 3 years ago. And we need to end this, marching like this, every single weekend.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be away this weekend, and I've got all the animals sorted with my family, and I said, I'm not going, I'm coming here. So here I am, and God bless all of you, and if we do stand tall, we will do it together!
Hey! Woohoo! Come down. You're in dumb.
So while we've been here today, ladies and gentlemen, we've had two gentlemen and they want to say some words to you. So please welcome our next speaker, who's called Ian.
Maybe we should go and knock on the doors of your house and say, I've got that
I
one
mean,
now.
look, they're homeless. Proper homeless, they're not the fake shit.
This is who we should be housing. Yeah.
Exactly. And the veterans, and the pensioners.
Well, yeah, I can all hear me. Right, I just want to say, yeah, I've been down here 9 months down, he's been down a lot longer. His missus is fucking homeless in a tent, I'm homeless, my mate's homeless in a tent. Council turned up yesterday and said you've got 24 hours to move this fucking stuff. Right? In the 9 months I've been down here, there's over 500 immigrants that's been fucking putting house in hotels. And I get told to piss off. He gets told to piss off. I don't care about my language, sorry officers, but the fact is, I'll say it how it is. I don't lie, I speak fucking words. Right? If the council should do something for the fucking English for once, stop doing it for foreigners. I'm not racist in any way. No disrespect to them. But the fact is, if I ever see any foreigners like I seen the other night, 3 of them following a girl at KFC, I turned round and walked and followed them. And you lot, what did you do when I tried to flag it out? Told me to piss off and carry straight on. How's the fucking English?
He went to Rama's school.
He did, didn't he?
So.